I think before we get to the fanfic, I wanted to go over why fanfic. Because, I mean, it's not classic literary fiction, but...
No, you don't read it in your high school class.
No.
Yeah,
no.
it's disregarded completely by society.
I definitely had people in high school classes that read fanfic during class.
During class?
Absolutely.
Okay. We didn't have the phones and the internet, so we weren't on the... I mean, maybe they were. I was too good. I was paying attention the whole time.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah.
I was in too many acting classes to not see people reading fanfic. Just too many acting classes.
Nice.
There were people in my high school that wrote fanfic about other people in the theater troupe.
See, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
They gave them ship names and everything.
We used to call that bullying. But then now it's just, making up stories. Gossip.
Well, see, here the thing is...
Or would you set it in a universe where it's like, okay, there's Alex with a foxtail, so it's all cool. It's
No. It was graphically gay fanfic about two people who weren't gay. And my thing was, if you're getting offended at someone writing a graphically gay fanfic about you, that's a little homophobic.
Yeah, I think it sounds a little bit.
It's just a little homophobic.
Exactly.
And
you were ahead of your time. When was this? This was not the hyper tense days of today. This was back in the day. You were way ahead of your time.
5 or 6 years ago now.
Like 10,000 years ago.
Exactly.
In modern day times.
In Twitter time. Yeah. Why fanfic? Interesting fact. First off, please define a Mary Sue for me.
Oh, actually, I know this one.
Do you?
So I know this stems from Star Trek fan fiction, and it's the idea that the writer will put usually themselves in the story, and they'll just come on the spot and immediately be the best at everything with no struggle, no real character arc. They're kind of just dropped in the middle of this. And I know that because all of my fan fictions featured myself.
And
as
you
a
are
sort of Mary Sue, absolutely.
There you go.
It's usually a stand-in so that the writer can just have them interact with their favorite characters and be as clever and witty as how they are.
And they typically had a hero's death.
A hero's death?
In the Star Trek ones.
Okay.
Yeah. And now we're talking 70s.
Right.
Like, fanfic on a typewriter, you'd mail it to your friend.
You'd have to type it a bunch of times. Unless, you might only have one friend.
Gutenberg had been around for a little bit, so you could...
Fresh off the press was the Bible and then fan fiction.
The Star Trek thing, yeah. So, wow. Definitely did not coordinate on the Mary Sue one. That was going to be like a little nugget, and you got me on that.
I knew that really well. Yeah. I'm ready.
And so talking about that, my first question is, what is canon?
What is canon?
What is canon? Yeah, so like something that's like canon to a story.
Okay.
So what declares what's canon? So like look at the Harry Potter universe. Right? She hasn't written all those books. She's had other people write the books for her.
I think if you're going to follow J.K. Rowling as an example, it seems like whatever the user defines is canon.
Yeah.
I think it comes back to the original creator, and it gets a little tricky, especially when you get to like a J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
Not around anymore.
His son wrote a library.
Yeah, Children of Turin.
Yeah.
Great book.
Exactly.
Is it canon?
Who knows?
Who gets the mantle after that?
And then when you start getting into like corporate interests, okay, so and so owns Harry Potter.
Yeah. Warner Brothers.
J.K. Rowling gets no say in what's canon anymore. So what's canon? I'm not saying she does. I'm saying for example.
Okay.
My best example was actually going to be my favorite fandom, interest, hobby, comics. So think about this. Superman was 80 years ago, 81 this year. They're not around anymore, the original creators.
R.I.P. Good guess.
So, the guy who's currently writing Superman, Brian Michael Bendis, is he writing something that's canon? Is he just writing fanfic?
Well, I think that when it comes to comics especially, you have all these different kind of universes. And when a new creator takes over, maybe they borrow some things or they rely on the history of the character, but it's a new character. It's got a new voice, right?
Yeah. Well,
unless they're doing a bad job, they're not taking
character. They're using the same character.
Same character with their own spin, no? I mean, wouldn't that just be boring if they kept going?
There's a joke. One guy I follow on YouTube, Tom King's Batman. He calls him Michael Batman.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Michael Batman. Because he's like, he's not Bruce Wayne. He's just some dude named Michael who put on the Batman suit.
There have been a lot of Bruce Waynes.
There've been a lot of Bruce Waynes.
There's a lot of Batman.
Yeah. So
Into the Batverse.
Exactly. Into the Batverse. That's a good one. So my question is, how is a comic book written today different than a fanfic written yesterday?
They get money.
They get money. They get money, and
they get lots of money.
They actually don't get a lot.
They get money.
Yeah,
some money. They get some money.
Some money. And they're officially sanctioned by the corporate owner of the property.
Right. I think you can kind of sell, like, to a certain degree, you can sell your idea, and then at that point, it doesn't become yours. I mean, maybe it loses the heart, that creative spark.
Yeah.
But you are kind of ceding that ownership.
Yeah.
You're allowing other people to write your stories.
But talk to a Star Wars fan. Every single one of them has a different definition of which movies are canon.
That's true. I think that's. I mean, this is an exciting time to be talking about this. It's interesting because a corporation, Disney, is setting what's canon. It's not anybody who originally came out. Like George Lucas, he tapped out.
Hands off.
He's out of there.
Hands off. Yeah.
So at this point, what is more valid? Is the only thing that's valid is what you pay $20 to go see at the movie theater, or could it be what your next door neighbor typed out on their Acer?
Yeah. What gives J.J. Abrams more right besides being hired, obviously?
Right. Smart, clever, witty people. Everybody's to some degrray. Yeah. A little clever, a little smart, a little witty. Mm-hmm. Anybody could write it, and it could be just as good.
Yeah. And so that's is the story the creator's story or the fan's story?
I think after a certain period of time, it kind of just, it can be whatever you want. Yeah. Doesn't have to be.
So it's an individual. So, to some people, these fan fictions are canon.
Right.
Yeah. To a good one. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. The one I have for you today, if anyone considers it canon, good for them.
I may after this.
I hope you do.
I haven't heard it. I'm very excited to hear it. I may consider it. It might be my canon. It might be my Nick Cannon.
Okay, Nick Cannon. He hosts the Masked Singer.
He gets to choose all canon. His name is Nick Cannon.
Yeah, that's true. Doesn't matter how many N's are in that canon. He's canon.
Who's spelling here? This is an audible, platform.
It's a fan fiction ASMR.
Yes.
Yeah, and then the ships. They shipped them.
I hate ASMR. Never got into it.
Okay.
Never got into it. But if you like it, if that's your canon for popular things, then that's cool.
I have an ASMR cannon for sure.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's a little cannon I fire into a microphone for ASMR.
It's just like pop and then fizzles. Yeah. And then you pass out.
The ASMR is you can't hear anymore afterwards.
Okay. It's that ringing, that high-pitched ringing.
Yes. Yeah. Tinnitus.
Tinnitus?
I think it's tinnitus.
Star is Born, I think they called it tinnitus.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird that I know that.
Weird.
It's also
it's just
weird,
a weird
that
way
I know.
I've never heard it.
That's how I learn. Okay, I don't learn from books or anything like that.
No one should read from books. They should read from fan fictions.
I agree.